Okay, so thank you for joining us today on Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2022. And we're very happy to have Cartwright join us again. This is his second time sharing with us, and the name of his inspirational message will be Love Thyself. And the quote is, self-love is not selfish. You cannot truly love another until you know how to love yourself, by Shilpa Puhan. And what we're going to learn about is how to build a positive, loving relationship with ourselves. When we do that, we cultivate a better sense of self that will not only benefit us, but also those we love around us. Often we spend so much time making sure the people we love and care about are happy and all right in every aspect of their lives that we miss a crucial aspect of loving and caring for ourselves. We have to understand that it's not selfish to love and care for ourselves and to make our happiness a priority. It's actually necessary. Treating ourselves in a way we treat our loved ones is the way deep down inside we want our loved ones to treat us, nothing more and nothing less. After serving 3 major incarceration sentences in prison, totaling 36 years, Keith realized that he had to first forgive himself and then learn to love himself. Keith did his time, paid for his mistakes, and changed his life for the better. Keith was part of the Living Classrooms program to help people coming out of prison to find work. He is employed with the Waterfront Partnership of Baltimore, a nonprofit organization that oversees the Waterfront Management Authority, a business dedicated to improving the maintenance and beautification of Baltimore's waterfront at the Inner Harbor, Fells Point, and Federal Hill. Since we last spoke with Keith in 2021, he was promoted to field team manager and is now happily married. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well, thank you for your bio. And without further ado, here is Keith Cartwright to share with us.
It's definitely a pleasure and an honor to have been invited back to speak again. And I'm just honored by that. And Diane Santilio and Gina Johnson, I mean, they've been supporting and helping me all along, all the way. So I really appreciate it. And I'm thankful for that. And today, when I got the call, Diane asked me what I was speaking at. I was like, wow, yes. I didn't give it a second thought. I just went on with it. So thank you all. Thank you all for having me. But to move further along, love thyself. You know, all too often in our everyday mundane life, we get so caught up into making sure our loved ones and family and friends are well. That we're loving on them, we're caring about them, and we're making sure they're good. Because sometimes we forget the aspect of loving ourselves. We want to make sure that they're all right. Their emotional, their mental, their physical well-being is intact. We're nurturing them. But we leave out nurturing ourselves. We're caught up in loving everybody. We don't even miss it, that we're not loving ourselves until you find yourself in a moment at a time where you feel a sense of loneliness or you feel that something is missing. And one thing that's missing is that you loving you. It's nothing wrong, and it's nothing wrong with being able to love everybody else. You got to love you too. That mental makeup, that spiritual makeup, emotional makeup, you have to be ever so mindful of that, because so many people get caught up into that where they forget about their whole life. They're living their lives for other people. Their purpose in taking care of them consumes them, but you don't allow it to affect your life where you got to take care of you. You got to take care of you. You can love everybody else's, but if you're not loving yourself, you lose a sense of who you are, the purpose in your life for you as an individual. Because we can't live our lives for other people. You can do things for them, but you have to live your life for you. You have to love yourself enough to take care of you. So many guys, men, we allow ourselves to not take a focus and look at ourselves as to caring about ourselves really and loving ourselves. Coming from the environment that I was in, we just didn't worry about that. We was just worrying about surviving for today, hoping that there'll be a tomorrow. But it comes a point in time where you have to just sit down take a few minutes and reflect upon you. Am I paying attention to my well-being, my happiness, my inner being, my emotional, my mental, my psychological? Because a lot of people don't want to look at themselves or have that quote unquote that self-examination. You analyze your thoughts, your feelings in your everyday life. You're looking for everybody else. You want to make sure they're good, making sure they're happy, that they're loved, they're cared about, their well-being. You're not thinking about sitting down and pampering you. I'm not saying going out shopping and buying a whole bunch of things. Pampering you is, though, the best thing that you can do for yourself. Take that honest look introspectively, not externally, but internally. Look at who you are as an individual. Open your mind up to see the things that you're not doing, that you should be doing for yourself. All too often it happens. I've seen it so many times that I was one of those people. I was caring about how everybody else felt or what they was doing, but I wasn't really caring about me. I wasn't loving myself enough until it got to a critical point where I just had to sit down, say, it's going to be about me today. It's going to be about me today. I'm going to get in tune with Keith and see what it is he's happy with within himself. What can I do to help better my life along the way? Help me, put me first. To just put me first in my life. I am the one that matters. We can love everybody and get the love from them, but we got to take care of us. If you're not caring about yourself, loving yourself, you can find yourself in a position where you're losing yourself. Your whole mental makeup becomes everybody else. Their thoughts are yours. Their feelings become yours, but you don't have a space in that. You don't have a purpose in that. And it's hard to do sometimes because sometimes we find ourselves doing so much for other people, seeking to have the validation from them to approve who we are for ourselves. You need to validate yourself. Validate who you are through your own sense of being and your own sense of purpose, through your own morals and values. That's how you validate who you are. It's not what you just do externally. Okay, we do things for other people, and that's fine. That's really, really fine because we have a caring nature to care for other people, to love other people. But if you're just doing it to have the validation to make you feel, yeah, I'm all right, I'm a good person, you're doing it naturally, that validation will come from within yourself. And it has a good purpose in doing that. So we have to take the time that on a daily basis, you get up in the morning and getting ready for work and get your morning coffee. Just take a few minutes to think about me today. What am I going to do for myself today? To make me happy, to make me feel good, to let me know that I'm loving myself. And it took a long time for me to get to that point, but once I was able to get there, that things going on around me, outside of me, and just focus on myself to make me happy. The intangible things that people can't give you, you have to give to yourself. And this topic came about, Diane first asked me, and I was thinking, what could I talk about? And it just popped in my head, loving thyself. That's the best thing we can do for ourselves in life, is to love ourselves. It will help to nurture you to be able to actually care, not just about doing things for other people and making sure they're loved, but you find that wholesomeness within yourself that you can enjoy and having a moment of time to yourself in peace and plan your life for your day. The day-to-day focus, that's what you can do. And it helped me a long, long time ago. And today, I love myself more than I ever loved myself in my life. Because I am, excuse me for a minute, just being grateful. God allowed me to be able to see Keith for who he was, to see Keith for who he can be. And that's a great thing. That's something nobody can give you. No one can give you that. You have to find it within yourself. It comes with great purpose. It was painstaking and it was very hard. Come from an environment where so much hostility and so much violence, but you had to find your place. Had to find your place. Take care of you. And today, I can sit, I can smile, and I can feel a sense of peace within myself because I'm taking care of me today. Taking care of me. I'm loving me, which helped me purposefully loving care about other people. Being here, this platform right now, it's emotional right now for me. Because I recognize and I reflect on where I came from, how painstaking it was, but I still have a sense of peace today. I'm not doing this video conference. I'm inside, sitting at home, in my dining room. And it's just overwhelming right now. Really overwhelming. Because these opportunities don't come every day for guys like me in this predicament that I was in. But meeting good people, having good character, people seeing who you really are, helped me to get here too. Had I not met Diane Santilio when I did, I might not have had this opportunity. So I'm very, very grateful to Diane and to Gina for helping me get to this point that I was invited to come back to speak. I'm so grateful for that. I can't express it enough. I can't. I'm a little emotional because I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy with where I'm at today. Loving me is all I have to do for myself. No one else can love you the way you can love yourself. And that's important in life today. So many people lose themselves not having or being in touch with their quote unquote interpersonal being or have that interpersonal relationship with yourself. Where you just taking out the time to nurture you, to grow you up, put you first. And it's rewarding. It's very rewarding. I can never get that. Because if I lose touch of who I am as an individual, then I cease to exist. I cease to exist. I don't care how much other people are loving me. If I'm not loving myself enough to know my own self-worth, my own self-value, what do I have? What do I have? Nothing. Because I don't recognize who I am as an individual, self-worth, that I have a value, that I have a purpose. Not just for me doing something for someone else, but what I do for myself. It's not about building up a bunch of accolades and being praised for doing this or being praised for doing that. Just do a good job. You'll receive it within yourself. The applause don't have to come from everyone else. Applause come from you when you recognize that you're doing good. not always easy. I mean, we have to fight you have to take care of family, priorities, number one priorities, wives, children, husbands, paying bills, working every day. You get so caught up in doing those things that you might find yourself at a moment of despair when you're just sitting around and you're just feeling sad within yourself because you're not taking the time to nurture it. Something is amiss. And something that may be amiss is that eternal love that you have for yourself. And it's a wonderful feeling that I've had for a long, long time, many years. I wasn't caring about myself. I wasn't loving myself enough to recognize that there was some good within me. I had to recognize them. My past life, made mistakes, I've done things, but am I to carry those mistakes all the way through my life? Just let them be a hindrance to me? I can't do that. I've accepted my wrongs, and I've did things to help me change within myself, to change my mindset, the way I've thought, the way I react to situations. It's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I'm doing it, and I've learned to love myself through it all. Pick myself up. Just love me enough to want better for myself, want better for my family, to let them see me doing better than I ever did. That's all a part of me loving myself. I was doing it for me, first and foremost. You're doing everything for everybody else. When you going to find time to do it for you?
So Keith, I'm going to jump in here. And I just want to thank you for this inspirations this morning. I met Keith. Keith works for Waterfront. I used to see Keith a lot because he was in my neighborhood, and now he's been promoted. He's Inner Harbor. But Keith, I see you live your values. I see you, your smile, your work ethic, the way you take care of, the community, how you greet people. I mean, your warmth. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for entering our neighborhood, our lives, with you and the rest of the team. It has changed our neighborhoods for the better. So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. That in itself makes me feel good because I was knowing that through the ethics that I've developed, doing a good job, doing it because that was my responsibility to just go and do a good job. Just go and do a good job. And when you're doing something with a purpose, it'll be recognized. You don't have to showboat it. Just be yourself and do what you need to do. And I've learned to love myself in that capacity. Do what I need to do. I'm going to be all right. Just taking care of my emotion, my mental, psychological makeup. When you come from the environment where I was at, like I said earlier, you're so focused on just surviving day to day. You don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow. So you don't sit down and be thinking about, well, how do I feel today? I mean, what is my mindset like today? Am I geared up? Am I prepared to go put in my best today? When we went there, we didn't do that. We was just making sure we survived. Because tomorrow, you didn't know if it would come. Out here in free society, it's the same way. But you're not just closed in, but you have more that you have to deal with. And there you're secluded. Here you're not so secluded. But you can find yourself in seclusion when you're by yourself. Yeah, that seclusion will set in on you. And at times when you get there, you have to be, sometimes we take a biased opinion about ourselves. I feel this way, I feel that way, just because it's me. You got to be able to look at yourself with an open mind and say, what if this possible? Is that possible? Put forth an effort to try to do some change. And that comes out of love also. That's a part of loving yourself. Part of loving yourself. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Not impossible. As guys that I have surrounded myself with, or have come in contact with, that came from the environment in which I was in, we have these type of discussions sometimes about surviving that world, the mentality, what it's like. And some of us went through some of the same things and shared the same feelings about not feeling that self-love, not caring about ourselves. That's why your actions, when you're not caring about yourself, loving yourself, your actions will show it. Your actions will show it. You will do things that are outside of your character, so to speak. And as I developed and started loving myself more, I was actually changing the way that I would act, the way that I was thinking. I wanted better for myself. Just can't forget about you and take care of everybody else and make sure they're good. But you're not. You're not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just relaxing, finding a place, be it at home, in your car, wherever, just looking at your life, where you're going in your life, and the purpose that you're serving, not just for yourself, for other people, but for yourself, and take care of you.
Brother Keith, I wanted to jump in and ask a question, and it's related to loving yourself, that self-care. I know that on an airplane, when the flight attendant goes over the safety measures before the flight takes off, the flight attendant always says, make sure that your own mask is on before you put it on, your child or someone next to you. So you care for yourself so that you can care for the person next to you. But that relates to self-care. So how has self-care played in that? What do you do, or what has been successful for you in terms of your own self-care so that you can recharge your batteries and be the amazing Keith who touches so many people around him? How do you recharge?
Sometimes the best thing for me to do is just take a moment and reflect on my goal for the day, what I want to do today, what do I want out of this today. And once I set that goal, I work to accomplish it. And the goal, knowing that I did that, I'm charging myself up, because every time I'm achieving within myself, I'm setting my personal goals, I'm achieving within myself, I'm giving myself more energy. I'm boosting my focus. I want to do more for myself, not just for everybody else, but for myself. I'm not big goals, I'm setting small goals that I can achieve within me on a personal level. Every day, I try to refocus, do something better for me. And to find that enjoyment, even if it's no more, just walking down my block, sitting out in my truck, and just thinking and reflecting about what I have achieved so far. In 20 months, I've achieved so much in 20 months just by doing what I needed to do for Keith. In 20 months. First time I had a car in my life, I didn't even have it a year. Now I've had my truck a year and make all my payments every month. And I have a wife now. I'm married. That's a big part of my responsibility, to help to take care of my wife. But if I'm not loving me the way I'm supposed to, I'm not going to take care of her the best that she needs from me. I'm not going to give her my best, because I'm not at my best. I find little things, grandchildren, sometime, and just seeing them smile. Just seeing them smile sometimes, building relations with my family, the way I've never had before. Those things help to recharge me. And I'll keep doing those things. But I don't forget, Keith, you got to love you. You got to care about what you're doing. Keep your focus, keep your mindset on a positive plane. Don't think always about the past. The past is the past. There's a future ahead of me. There's a future ahead of me. If I wasn't loving myself, I may not even be here today. I may not even have been here today. That's why we got to make sure we take care of us so that we can be the best that we can be for ourselves and truly, truly be the very best for others too. Just overwhelmed with it. Because some of you were here when I spoke the first time. That right there, really big for me. That was a really big moment for me. Because I was able to share myself with people that I didn't know. And to let them see my vulnerability, share my experiences, show my growth, or share my growth. It was enough to help me just keep pressing. Keith, man, you doing something good for yourself. It wasn't just about me delivering a message to other people, but it's inspiring me. It's inspiring me more than I was before. Inspiring me, and there's some things that I want to do with young guys, being a mentor with them, to help share my experience with them, to help them to avoid some of the pitfalls of incarceration and the life and the decisions that they make in life. Those things are inspiring me, and that's coming out of the love I have for myself. If I wasn't caring about me or loving me, I really wouldn't be thinking about helping anyone else. I had to recognize that also.
We're coming up on 9 o'clock, and we wanted to just thank you very, very much for sharing. I don't want to cut you off, and we really, really appreciate you being here and sharing with us. And I think you're as encouraged by us as we are by you, and I think that's the perfect situation.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you. We're so grateful.
Thank you. You're welcome. You all enjoy your day.